Reptilians, Hollow Earth, and old people who aren't racist. These are all things whispered to exist by crazy people on Facebook, which put them in the category we know as wacky-ass conspiracy theories. But what if I told you there's a YouTube channel that has proof for all these things existing and so much more? Well, prepare to have your third eyes open with this cheek-spreading experience, because today we're checking out Zohar's Stargate TV. And we're only going to be looking at their TikTok page instead of their YouTube channel, because honestly I feel like I'd turn into a whack job after scrolling through and watching all these videos. It's just 10 plus minutes of the most outlandish topics imaginable, and their TikTok page is just much easier to digest. So let's go ahead and pop in our tinfoil butt plugs and prepare to take a ride on the wild side.
Have you killed any extraterrestrials in your lifetime?
Countless. I honestly couldn't tell you the number. It's so many.
What did some of these look like?
Well, if we're talking about the indigenous reptoids on Mars, 7 feet tall, they do have a tail that is usable in combat. Been knocked unconscious, got clubbed in the head with one time. They're fierce.
That right there is the peak human specimen, the first ever human super soldier. Master Chief and Steve Rogers, go ahead and step aside. This right here is your daddy. He's been out there on Mars slaying humanoid reptoids that are 7 feet tall with thick, girthy tails that could knock you out in one swap. He's eliminated countless of them. It's a true man's man. I'd let him date my daughter. And if you were curious and wanted to learn more backstory on those 7 foot tall hot reptoids on Mars, this is a bit of a prequel to that last TikTok we watched where he kind of explains them.
What is an indigenous reptoid?
As a species, they tend to be the a-holes of the galaxy, very aggressive.
What was the language like?
Their name for the planet, they call it Galuka.
Galuka. So the reptoids are just out here speaking like a Star Wars language or something. They're speaking from their throats. They're just Galuka. I am very intrigued in the reptoid slayer's lore, so we're going to watch him take a lie detector test on everything he's talked about so far.
Have you ever killed an extraterrestrial being?
Yes.
Have you ever physically been to a planet other than Earth?
Yes.
There are no indications that Mr. Kramer was actively attempting to deceive me or the polygraph examination. From my perspective, Mr. Kramer does believe that he is telling the truth.
I've always known I've been telling the truth.
I've known I've always been telling the truth. But, you know, he may actually believe it, you know, who's to say? That doesn't mean it's real, though. You know, someone can actually be insane and believe their own crazy beliefs, but that obviously doesn't make it real. But still, it's very interesting, this topic, to just listen to him speak on it. It's just some real, like, he could probably write a sci-fi novel on all this crazy stuff he's talked about, and it'd probably sell fairly well. Kind of like that movie of Abraham Lincoln hunting the vampires. Just have this guy make his own movie about how he's hunting reptoids. And now this is the last video we're going to be looking at for the reptoid hunter. I just found it, and it's him kind of diving in and explaining his experience with his squad amidst the battles on Mars with the reptoids. I'm sure my grandma has seen these posts on Facebook somewhere and absolutely believes them and is scared that reptoids are going to invade Earth sometime now.
Squad and I were captured by indigenous reptoids on Mars and spent 5.5 months living with them. If I'm not telling the truth, then I am committing a number of felonies, including impersonating an officer, and I have encouraged people who think that I'm not telling the truth to report me to the FBI.
That escalated very quickly. He got captured, lived with the reptoids for 5 months, so that could explain how he speaks their language and whatnot. And then also, he wants you to report him to the FBI if you think he is fib-telling, you know, if he's telling a lie. That's crazy. He's committed a number of felonies if he's lying. Anytime somebody says the phrase committed a number of felonies or something along those lines, it always makes me chuckle. It always is absolutely hilarious to me. I don't know why. I'm like a kid who just heard a poop joke when I hear this stuff. And I'm not saying this stuff is dumb per se. Honestly, it is quite interesting. You know, I'm not like a closed-minded individual who thinks we're alone in an infinite universe. I just like poking the bear with a stick, you know? I like having some nut-tugging fun. But it is always fun watching these people who claim to have these crazy, wacky experiences and then listening to them tell their outlandish tales. It's always something. It's always a sight to behold.
The moon is a spaceship. The people that made us made 1 billion other civilizations of humans on different planets. We're just the solar system morons. They send down spaceships from all the different planets to look at the Morons. It's like a zoo.
So this man says the moon is a spaceship that they use to kind of spy on us on Earth. We're in like kind of a zoo enclosure that they can watch us on. Kind of like if you have a telescope and you got like a hot neighbor and you want to stare at him through their window. That's the kind of mental imagery I'm making up right now. And I'm sure you've noticed this already, but there obviously is never any evidence in any of these videos. It's just, hey, believe me, the wacky person who is spewing nonsense out of my mouth. I really fought space wars with the Power Rangers against reptilians on the moon. You gotta believe me, I'm telling the truth. But hey, who am I to say what's real and what's not? I used to poop my pants in the 3rd grade.
I went to the planet Venus, and the surface is absolutely livable. There were forests, there were animals and structures that were on the surface. You could go into a waterfall, and you could feel the love from the water. Can you imagine being in the shower and the water is communicating with you?
Wait, the water, you can feel the love from the water. Was it white water? Because if so, I think I know where that feeling of love is coming from.
You want to go to Venus? You get in a portal, boom, you're in Venus.
Simple as that, guys. You know, just hop in a portal, go on over to Venus. It's completely livable. Trust me, I've been there. I can't tell you where the portal is, but, you know, you find the portal, hop on in, you go to Venus. If I was him, I would set up a tourist company to let people go to Venus, but then charge them out the wazoo, man. Like, charge them $1 million a pop. I'm sure you could make Elon Musk pay like $1 billion or something. He'd want to go to Venus. And then while you have people going into the portal after they pay for their tickets or whatever, I'd have a cart set up to the side going, tinfoil hats! Get your tinfoil hats here! $2.99 plus tax and some hidden fees.
What about this city under Egypt and the one under Antarctica?
There are cities that are massive where the populations can be in the millions of personnel. The raptor species, they live down there. A indigenous native insectoid species, which we kind of think of as ant people, they live down there. We get to sort of manage.
Oh, it's this guy again. He keeps popping up, man. He's like the main character of this channel. He's giving them all their content. He's talking about reptoids, raptor people, ant people, and now Hollow Earth, as well as Mars and everything. Intergalactic wars. This guy's an example of what happens when you read one too many Facebook conspiracy theories. You just go off the deep end and you start believing in everything from Hollow Earth to fighting reptoids on Mars. I don't want to insinuate anything here, but for him to believe all that he's actually experienced all this stuff, it's probably on a bit of that good stuff, you know, a bit of the, you know, all that kind of good stuff. And it is good stuff.
Manage the surface world up here, and they're managing the world down there.
These cities are inside inner Earth.
The entrances are essentially holograms that look like solid rock, but it's not. So if you know the path, you can just fly straight through and look like you're going right into solid rock, but you're not.
Okay, so what I'm hearing is go out there, any rock face you find, any solid like thing of rocks up and down, run into it and see if you can get into the Hollow Earth. That's probably how he believed he made it to Hollow Earth. He just ran into rocks so many times he got brain damage and then thought he just kind of like phased through the rock. You hit your head one too many times, you start hallucinating reptoids. I don't know where these interviewers are finding all these people to do these crazy interviews with. It has to be some sort of like flat earth convention or something, because how else are you going to find this many people with this many crazy stories to tell? It's some good stuff though. It's some good interviews. It's interesting. It's definitely very interesting.
The pyramids didn't originate here. They were brought here to channel energy directly into the middle of the earth. But it was also used for something else. All the hieroglyphs, they're like magic sigils, and when energy is channeled through there, that activates them. This is the secret. The pyramids could teleport large groups of people into the other dimensions, so they would, you know, get out of their bodies and they would interact with interdimensional beings. This is ancient knowledge.
The music they put behind these videos really makes you want to believe it, you know? It's like getting you hopped up and making you feel all epic and stuff, like you're about to go on a journey. Now, once again, I don't want to be pointing any fingers, crying wolf or whatever, but that lady does have some crazy looking eyes. You know, she looks like the top to like slash some tires and send some ominous death threats. She definitely looks like the crazy ex-girlfriend top. You know, once again, I don't want to be mean here. Or do I? And I thought it was only natural to end off with a third eye video, but we're not going to be watching the whole video. I just kind of want to show you the first few seconds here, and then a very special comment.
Pineal gland has been known to be called the third eye.
So the pineal gland is known to be called the third eye, and then they go into all this meditation kind of stuff. I don't really know if it's real or not. Once again, you can't really tell with this channel, this page. And then this comment here that I found hilarious. They said, I have a hidden brown eye. Talking about that stinky hole. I'm sorry, I still have a middle school sense of humor, you know. If you open up a health book and pointed to like the penis and vagina page, I would still laugh. That's where my sense of humor is. And that's the end of the video. I promised you some crazy, wacky conspiracy theories, and I think I delivered on that. You know, we got some reptoid people, some raptor people, some ant people, some third eyes, hollow earth, hidden brown eyes. We got it all here, baby. It's the special package, the all-in-one mega ultra deluxe. And yeah, other than that, I'll catch you in the next one. Peace out.